Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Colonel Polis&Sancho, and he is my partner,
James Sancho. And here, we're going to talk about JuliaMargaretCameron.
her biography and photos. Her biography. JuliaMargaretCameron, a Victorian photographer, was born June 11, 1815, in Calcutta, India. Into a British colonial family, Cameron was educated in France. After she returned to India, at the age of 23, married Charles Hay Cameron, a British lawyer in 40s, who was stationed in Calcutta. 10 years later, in 1848, Charles Hay Cameron retired. In December 1863, JuliaMargaretCameron was given a camera by her daughter Julia as a means of amusement by staying freshwater when her father was Ceylon, present-day in Sri Lanka. Visiting the family coffee plantation, it was a ABT gift. Since at this point, Cameron was 48 years old, well-read, mother of 6 children, whose sons were grown up for away at broadcasting school, and whose daughter Julia had married and moved away. Cameron took photography in an instant. It became her link to her friend of circles, include the scientists and artists who served on her intellectual correspondence. Despite her completely ignorance of camera and the art of photography, indeed, she was tireless in her effort to understand and master the steps needed to produce negative with wet collodion of glass plates. And if she began as an amateur with no thought of earning of living from her new hobby, she immediately adopted a wholly professional approach, copywriting, exhibiting, and marketing her prints. Within 18 months, she had turned a chicken coop into a studio, a whole house into a dark room, sold 80 photographers to the Victoria and Albert Museum, set up a second studio in 2 of the museum rooms, and arranged of all the London firms to publish and sell her prints. At the same time, and she took advance whether she needed, learning, for example, the techniques of soft focus from the British printer and photographer. Learning, for example, the technique of soft copies from the British painter and the photographer David Wilkie Weinberg in 1837 to 1887, a distant relative of the famous game genre painter David Wilkie. Her photographer, however, did not meet with the universal approval. The photography establishment found fault with her supposedly poor techniques, as did several publications. In 1865, for example, the Photographer Journal published as a highly critical review of her submission to the annual exhibition of the photographer, Social of Scotland. By contrast, her work was generally admired by her artist friends, a view shared by modern-day art critics who applaud her preference for beauty before technique's perfection. In hindsight, it obvious that Cameron had an extraordinary talent for endowing her prints with spiritual depth, a quality noticeable absent in many commercial portraits of the day. In 1875, Julian Cameron and her husband returned to their plantation in Ceylon, taking with her photographer, equipment, and a cow, as well as 2 coffins in case such terms should be unobtainable. She continued to take photographs Although she was greatly hampered and by shortage of materials and lack of sustainable sitters. She died in Ceylon 4 years later at the age of 63. January 26, 1879, in Kolkata, Sri Lanka, she died.
And here are the 5 examples of Julia Margaret Cameron's photos. Number 1, Beatrice. In this photograph, modeled closely on a painting that attribute to the Italian Baroque art Guido Reni, May Prensi plays the role of Beatrice Cenci, a 16th century Roman woman whose sad tale of rape, revenge, and execution was retold in the 19th century play by Percy Shelley. While Cameron's portraits of men great true genius had the built-in appeal of celebrity, her portraits of women great true love most often depended upon literary, artistic, historical, or biblical allusion for broader commercial appeal. Her second photo is Julia Jackson, the effusive eccentric associate of Carlyle, Herschel, Ruskin, Rossetti, and Tennyson. Julia Margaret Cameron earned the admiration of her eminent colleagues when she took up the camera at the age of 50. Characteristically Victorian in her intense idealism, Cameron sought to portray the noble, emotion, methodological figure and ancient heroes dear to her heart. She pressed her friends and family to pose in looks vivant that may seem sentimental today, but she also took portraits so vivid and psychologically rich that they are timeless. Cameron made more than 20 portraits of her favorite niece and namesake Julia Jackson, to whom she gave this unmounted proof print. She never portrayed Julia as a sibyl or a saint, but rather as a natural embodiment of purity, beauty, and grace. Her third photo is The Parting of Lancelot and Guinevere. In 1874, Tennyson asked Cameron to make photographic illustration for a new edition of his Idylls of the King, a recasting of Arthurian's legends, responding that both knew that it is immortality to be bound up with you. Cameron willingly accepted the assignment, costuming family and friends. She made some 245 exposures to arrive at the handful she wanted for the book. Ultimately, and predictably, she was unhappy with the way her photographs look reduced in scale and translated into wood engraving, and she chose to issue a deluxe edition at her own risk that includes a dozen full-size photographic prints in each 2 volumes. Her fourth photo is Cassiopeia. The model for Cassiopeia and the mountain nymph Sweet Liberty was identified by Cameron only as Miss Guinea. Although almost nothing is known about her, this photographic session appears to be one of just 2 instances in which Cameron used professional model rather than friends, family, neighbors, or household staff. Her fifth and last photo is Cirque. My aspiration are to ennoble photography, wrote Cameron, and to secure for it the character and uses of high art by combining the real and ideal. Rather than strive for superficial accuracy in costume and settings, Cameron sought to record true the faces of her family and friends. The qualities of innocence, wisdom, pretty, or passion ascribes to to great biblical, historical, and legendary figures. Unconcerned with technical perfection in her prints, Cameron used a long exposure and shallow depth of field to give that slight sense of animation, of breadth that may merge the young girl with her mythic character and seem to bring her the viewer's presence.